Welcome to Dateline Schools, a presentation of the St. Clair County Regional Educational Service Agency, with your host, Chris Troy.
With all the amazing things that are going on in the St. Clair County area, we sometimes forget about those who may need some extra help. Well, to focus on one group who needs our attention, November has been named Homeless Awareness Month. And to help us understand what exactly that means and is RESA Homeless Coordinator Laura McDowell. Laura, thanks a lot for being with us today.
You're welcome.
So how long have you been here at RESA?
It's been over 20 years.
And what drew you into this path?
Well, I've always loved working with children, and these children and youth really need a lot of help, and that drew me to it, just that I just absolutely love helping youth and their families.
Now, Laura, tell me a little bit about RESA and what RESA does to help out families who are in need.
It starts with the McKinney-Vento Homeless Student Assistance Act, and we're here to help connect families that meet the McKinney-Vento federal definition of homeless and their children with the schools. And we provide training and workshops to local school districts. We offer that. We work directly with the local shelters, service organizations. We try to get the families connected with resources in the community such as food and clothing, but mainly it's the school piece. It's enrollment, it's transporting these kids to school if they need help, and making sure they're receiving free lunch, and eliminate barriers for these children to be successful in school.
So November is Homeless Awareness Month. Why do you think it was important for a month to be established to kind of bring this forward in people's eyes?
I think it's very important to have a month or longer to bring awareness to homelessness in our community, in our county, state, nation. There is no single experience of homelessness. For some, homelessness could be a temporary and brief. For others, it lasts for months or years. And I just think in Michigan, we need to, and in our county, bring light to this situation that's happening.
So what is the definition of homeless? Is it a county definition, a state definition, a national definition? What is the definition that you work under?
The definition that we work under is a federal law. It's the McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act. And that federal law states that all children and youth have a right to a free public education, and all barriers must be eliminated for their school success. So we ask, who are these homeless children and youth under this federal McKinney-Vento definition? And it states children and youth who lack a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence, including sharing the housing of others due to loss of housing, economic hardship, or similar reason. They could be living in motels, hotels, campgrounds, due to lack of adequate alternative accommodations, living in emergency or transitional shelters, living in a public or private place not designed for humans to live, or living in cars, parks, abandoned buildings, substandard housing, bus or train stations. Those are a few of the examples. And then, of course, unaccompanied youth that meet that definition and not with a parent or legal guardian.
Laura, does your program here at RESA serve as an outreach program?
Yes, we do. We received an additional grant. It's called American Rescue Plan 1, ARP funds, and we use a current RESA employee, and she goes out into the community to our local food pantries, food banks, different organizations or agencies that operate the pop-up food pantries, or as far as resource fairs, and distributes backpacks with food and items in them, as well as our RESA brochure with information on the McKinney-Vento Act.
Laura, with November being Homeless Awareness Month, I have to ask, is homelessness really a big issue here in St. Clair County?
It is. In Michigan, we see families lose their homes due to foreclosures or evictions, individuals who are unable to pay their rent due to financial insecurity, or seniors who don't have enough savings to stay in their home, and women and youth who cannot safely stay with family or friends. There are many reasons, and with the housing and rent going up, and assistance is staying the same as far as grants, there are many people who are finding housing insecurity around here.
So when people think of homeless, at least when I do, and the initial vision comes to mind is poor economic communities and poor rundown areas. But that's not really the case, is it, with homeless? It affects every community.
Absolutely. A lot of families are living paycheck to paycheck, and one hiccup can happen, and that can snowball into other things. And eventually, they may lose their housing, they may lose their vehicle, which would be the only thing, the only transportation they would have to work. Then they may not be able to work after that. So, absolutely, it's dire right now.
How is RISA made aware of perhaps a student who's in need?
Great question. So, when school districts, in every school district in the county, is an identified liaison, and that liaison's job is to identify families and youth who meet the McKinney-Vento definition and make sure that those students and those families are receiving services in the community, if it would be referrals for housing, food pantries, clothing. And then those referrals do come to RISA, and then we are made aware of these families and children.
Laura, earlier this week we talked about McKinney-Vento, and I'm sure if people have questions about that, they can go online and find that information or make a few calls to you here at RISA. But what other programs maybe are available, or how do you interact with these programs?
So when we receive referrals from local school district liaisons, depending on each family's need, for instance, if we have a family in shelter, they may need enrollment assistance. They may not know the schools that the children would be attending. So I would meet with that family either through the caseworker or meet with them in person, have them fill out enrollment forms, assist with the enrollment of their children and youth. Through that interaction, I can, refer the family to different agencies in the county, such as for clothing or food. But also through RISA, we have a tutoring mentoring program, and we have an employee that goes between the different shelters after school hours and works with these children and youth and on keeping up with their homework, any other activities that they need done for school. So we're able to help in that way as well.
If you have students out there who are homeless, who have difficulty getting to school, does RISA still provide busing for them, or is there special pickup and delivery for them?
As far as the transportation piece, if it's transportation for these students back to the school of origin, the school districts can work with their transportation departments and the families. But if they need assistance at RISA, absolutely, we can help with emails to request certain school of origin special transportation. We also have some bus passes, possibly depending on the situation, and other means for assisting families with transportation. So it starts with the school district liaisons, and then sometimes gets filtered through the RISA, and we're able to help out.
Now, Laura, we're also here to talk about Homeless Awareness Week here in St. Clair County. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, it's called National Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week, and this year it's November 11th through the 18th. And a few statistics, according to Michigan's campaign to end homelessness, over 61,000 people were counted as literally homeless in Michigan in 2019. And of this number, over 26,000 were school age for the 2020-21 school year. In St. Clair County last school year, there were over 470 enrolled McKinney-Vento students.
Laura, with November being Homeless Awareness Month, including Homeless Awareness Week, what is your hope that this whole awareness program will achieve?
Well, we've reached out to our local district homeless liaisons, encouraging them to have some type of drive or awareness in their district. And here at RISA, we're having a basic needs drive, and we're going to be collecting items and distributing them to our local shelters. So I hope that people who are listening, they can maybe look and maybe help out as far as collecting food for a local food pantry or church that help the homeless, maybe organize a clothes or drive or toiletries drive and donate to local service agencies or shelters, maybe hold a supply drive, donate your time possibly to a soup kitchen or other service agency, or donate money from a bake sale or car wash or other event to help homeless shelters or service organizations.
Laura, if anybody had any questions about McKinney-Vento or any other programs, how can they get a hold of you to find those answers?
You can call me at RESA or email. My phone number is 810-455-4022, or email me at mcdowell.laura@sccresa.org.
For Dateline Schools, I'm Chris Troy. Dateline Schools is a presentation of St. Clair County RESA.